Well, if you're tired of her, sorry, because Sydney Sweeney continues making headlines, but this time not for her American Eagle ad. Amid the furor over that great jeans campaign, her Baskin Robbins commercial from a month ago has now resurfaced. Take a look.
Hey, Sydney, your signature scoop is ready.
Thank you. What?
That's so cool.
Yeah. It can be.
Summer's looking sweet at Baskin Robbins.
Well, now the commercial is making the rounds on social media, drawing criticism from both sides of the aisle. One online critic says this is a big fail because, quote, ice cream tanks your testosterone, spikes your risk of diabetes, and wrecks your metabolism. I bet our HHS secretary would agree with that. Another says this ad is going to melt liberal minds, and now they want to eat ice cream. Emily, you know, I kind of feel like if Baskin Robbins was smart, they might really lean into this. Look, we've seen American Eagle, because they didn't back down, they didn't cave to the woke mob. They've seen their stock prices surge. They got a boost from President Trump talking about them and Sydney Sweeney. What do you think happens? Are they going to stand by their girl, Sydney Sweeney, Baskin Robbins?
I hope they do. I'm not sick of her whatsoever. I think she's amazing. And look, who doesn't love, and I'm saying this generally speaking for marketing, hot girls eating messy things? That's the whole concept behind the Carl's Jr. ads, right? All the Super Bowl ads. It works. So if I would just offer Baskin Robbins a little bit more advice, I would say get a little messy. Have it drip all over her. I mean, guaranteed it will spike. I'm headed to Baskin Robbins myself right after the show.
Well, what's funny, David, is that Sydney Sweeney's brother, it seems like, is taking advantage of this and actually leaning into the good gene stuff. Listen to what he happened to say about this. Oh, just kidding. Sydney Sweeney's brother, Trent, we don't have a sound, I'll read it, who happens to be in the Air Force. He poked fun at the uproar over his sister's American Eagle ad, and he posted on his Instagram story showing his official promotion to Staff Sergeant, congratulations to him, in the Air Force with a joke that captioned, "It's them good genes," obviously. So, David, liberals, as they say, are already melting down about this. But to Emily's point, she's cute, she's funny. You gotta embrace this stuff. Are they really gonna start melting down on the left over the ice cream?
Okay, first of all, the left just melts down to begin with. Let's go. By the way, if he was eating ice cream and it was messy, I would not be watching. For the record, just so we're clear. However, this is just selling all American, Americana. She's wearing jeans. Jeans are an iconic American product of clothing. By the way, Emily, there's a muscle car, the pony car in the ad.
I know.
So if you're not a Sydney Sweeney fan, there's this Cobra Stripe Mustang that launched an iconic, muscle car generation in there. This is selling Americana. Go back to Brooke Shields. What's between her and her Jordache? It was that American girl aspirational. You were a guy, you wanted to see a girl in her Jordache jeans. This is just advertising, folks. The left just can't help themselves.
Lisa, I want to give everybody an idea of what Sydney's signature scoop actually consists of. I mean, brace yourself, because I hope RFK Jr. is not listening to this. Rainbow sherbet in a chocolate-dipped waffle cone with rainbow sprinkles, gummy bear minis, and then they're not done. There's a drink. It's sherbet and lemon lime soda that's topped with gummy bears. So this isn't exactly maha.
I mean, I personally like cookies and cream, but that's like the only. I love ice cream. It's the only thing I have in common with Joe Biden. But I will say here, David was talking about how the left is melting down. They don't just melt down; they bully. Right? You can even go back to Congresswoman Maxine Waters saying to get up in the faces of Trump officials. I mean, Laura, you remember this. Tell them they're not welcome anymore. So that's what the left does. They bully. But they've lost their ability to do so when President Trump won the popular vote, because it's no longer popular to hate President Trump. So I think that's what a lot of this angst and anger is about from the left, because they can no longer bully people into submission. And obviously now we know that Sydney Sweeney was a registered Republican dating back to 2024. But even before that, I think the left sort of suspected this. Do you remember the uproar over her mom's 60th birthday party, and people were wearing hats and it said "Make 60 Great Again"? And there was this uproar of, oh, she's a Trump supporter, these are Trump hats. And then, God forbid, there was a guest that also appeared to be wearing a shirt that said "Blue Lives Matter," because apparently, supporting our police officers is a crime to the left. However, I think the positive note about all this was that American Eagle is standing behind this ad. So hopefully the left's ability to bully has now been diminished, and they can no longer do so.
Yeah, Alicia, I was reading some of the comments under this the YouTube ad that they had out there, and I think my favorite one was, just for this, I'm going to get some Baskin Robbins. America is back.
Exactly, and I think that's the point for some of this, because the backlash against the backlash is so fun to watch sometimes, but also I feel like the Wayback Machine is very busy lately with Sydney Sweeney, incredibly busy. Another thing that went viral was her throwing out the first pitch at the Red Sox Blue Jays game in 2022, and people went on there and they were also commenting on her jeans, and it was, for and against. What I'm really curious about is the next time she's going to be on the red carpet, because I'd love to hear how she's doing with all of this and hear where she is in all of this.
And she shoots guns too.
She does shoot guns,
Terran Tactical.
which also upsets them on the left greatly, but we absolutely love to see it.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.